Today we're looking at how to adjust the Cobra RADSPEED drivers. These are super popular really because Cobra has really become to the fore of tech and especially distance in drivers, and I have two of the three drivers in the family here with me today. Now before we get adjusting, just very quickly, the concept RADSPEED, well, it stands for radius of gyration, and that is basically optimizing the distance that weight is placed away from the center of gravity to improve performance. And these drivers are also packed with tech, like they've got the Arcos sensors in the grip, they've got the amazing CNC milled infinity face for ball speed, they've got an extremely thin ply carbon wrapped crown braced with a T-bar speed chassis that allows weight to be pushed forward if need be to decrease spin and increase ball speeds. Now the different types, well, there's three in the family: the original RADSPEED, the RADSPEED XB, and I also have the RADSPEED XD here. All three have different weighting setups in the head, and we'll discuss that. And they all have MyFly adjustable loft systems as well, and we'll also go through that for you after we talk about the crown weighting. Now let's start with this one here, the original RADSPEED, the most adjustable really of the three. And if you look at the underside of the head, you'll see here there is removable weighting front and back, but essentially the default weighting is a total of 28 grams of weight really pushed forward on this one. You'll see it's divided into 16 grams of fixed weight, 8 each side, and then 12 grams of adjustable weight. And in the back here, as well as an 8 gram fixed weight, here you have a 2 gram removable weight. So in this setting, with the weight pushed forward, this driver is set up to produce really high ball speeds and low spin for distance really. Now if you've never opened the screws in a driver before, well, they're all essentially the same. You simply take your adjustment wrench, place it into the top of the screw, and you turn it anti-clockwise to open like so. And then when you want to tighten or secure any screw in place, well, you do the opposite. You turn it clockwise, and when you turn it and you tighten it, you'll hear a loud click. There it is, don't be afraid of it. This click means the screw is securely in place and it prevents it from being over tightened or essentially over torqued. Now let's just say I want to swap around the 12 gram weight and the 2 gram weight in my RADSPEED driver. Well, I will open up the screws like this, I'll pop them out. This time I'll remove the 2 gram weight to the front and the 12 gram weight to the back. Now in this setting, with more weight in the back of the driver, it will be more stable, more forgiving. In the industry, they term it having a higher MOI, and it will spin the ball a little bit more. So, to summarize the weighting in RADSPEED, you can have it forward for low spin and more distance, or you can have it back for more stability and more forgiveness. Essentially, these weights in the RADSPEED then allow you to manipulate spin and distance. Now with the RADSPEED XB model, which I can show you on the screen compared to the original, you'll see it's different to the original in that you don't have this level of weight adjustment in the sole. XB stands for extreme back, and it's a driver already set up by the Cobra engineers to be higher launching, higher spinning, really forgiving, high MOI, basically big, friendly and long. What you have instead of two weights is one 6 gram weight that is technically removable, but only really in a club fitting environment. You wouldn't really touch it. And then you have this one here, which is the RADSPEED XD, standing for extreme draw, and this one has a 10 gram weight in the heel of the driver to really want to shut the face as you swing down towards impact and help correct a fade or a slice. The RADSPEED XD also has a fixed 8 gram weight positioned in the front and a 14 gram weight in the back, which again is technically removable and changeable, but again you'd only really see this in a custom fitting situation. Now in all three of these drivers you also have the MyFly technology here, which allows you to make adjustments to loft and lie. You can change the launch and trajectory the ball flies off the tee and affect the spin up to plus or minus 450 RPMs or revolutions per minute of the ball. You can raise or lower the loft by up to 1.5 degrees, and there's 8 settings in total. 5 of them are just loft related, and then 3 of them are loft and draw related. Now, if you look at the hosel of the driver here, this one here, you'll see it's 9 degrees loft, and STD shows in the little window here, signifying standard or the default setting. Now, if we use our adjustment wrench, just like before, to loosen the hosel screw, like so, it takes a few turns, usually hold it in my thumb and forefinger, but when I take it off, you'll see that the head can be removed to reveal all these little numbers here on the shaft, and they correspond to the 8 settings we can choose. Now let's say I want to reduce loft. If I rotate the hosel 1 notch from the standard setting, slide to -1, slide back on the head and tighten it, this driver will then play as an 8 degree driver. When I place it behind the ball, it will actually sit with the face a little bit more open. When I hit the ball, it'll come off the tee a little bit lower and have a little less spin on it. I could go 2 notches if I wanted to the -1.5 setting. I often use this setting when I'm hitting the driver too high and too spinny. It helps fix that. Let's just say, for another example, I need more loft than the standard 9 degrees. To increase loft, I can rotate the hosel 1 notch to add 1 degree of loft, or 2 notches to add 1.5 degrees. If, say, I choose 2 notches and secure the head back on, well, then this driver plays as a 10.5 degree driver at address. The club will sit a little bit closed. The ball, when hit, will launch higher and it'll have more spin on it. Now, if we rotate the driver 180 degrees from the standard or default setting, we see at the back there are 3 more settings: standard draw, +1 draw, and -1 draw options. Now, what these 3 settings essentially do is make the driver sit more upright at address, and upright promotes a draw bias on shots. So if I choose the standard draw setting and secure the head back on, this driver plays at the default standard 9 degrees again, but now it's more upright, hence promoting a draw. Or I could choose +1 or -1 draw to give this driver more or less loft, whilst all the time sitting a little bit more upright. So there you have it, how to adjust your Cobra RADSPEED drivers. Now, when buying your RADSPEED from Golfbidder, of course, our advice would be to first of all choose the head style to suit you. RADSPEED for max adjustability, RADSPEED XB if you want forgiveness, and RADSPEED XD if you want to correct a slice. Second, choose the default loft to suit you best. They come in 9, 10.5 and 12 degree versions. Third, choose the right shaft for your game and your swing speed. And finally, get adjusting the head weighting and then the MyFly loft to really dial the RADSPEED to your game. Now, if you enjoy this video, please do press like and subscribe to the Golfbidder YouTube channel. It really does help us a lot. And follow us across Facebook, Twitter and Instagram to keep up to date with the very latest news and happenings. From me for now though, it's Donal, out.